searching for that fuller length, trying to extract whatever there is in the surface. He'll be disappointed with his performance with the ball against England. You can see the 34 in his 2 overs. So a big spell for him here today to get back into that rhythm, to contribute with the ball. He was brilliant with the bat. Such a key man for this West Indies team, and if they are going to progress further into the next round and hopefully from their perspectives into the semi-final, you do feel he's the man. He's going to have to stand up for some big performances through this tournament.
If you didn't know, there's a game later on tonight of some consequence. Surya Kumar Yadav here against Pakistan. There'll be just a little bit of interest in that. Cross in Colombo. 7 p.m. Colombo time. You're absolutely right in that even though he didn't perform with the ball, he is integral to this bowling lineup as a leader, as a mentor to the other seamers, as an exponent of bounce. And what I was curious to see is whether he'd go full or whether he just looked to hit the splice of the bat, not short to pull and not too full to drive. Can he just hit the splice of the bat to the shorter statured batter? Sort of length, hitting the splice of the bat without being short. 5 overs gone, 19 for 3.
First 11 a.m. start thus far here in Mumbai at the Wankhede Stadium. Felt it was going to be a big toss, proving to be such already. Nepal in all sorts of trouble. Huge numbers of their fans have flown and taken trains and buses. Some travelling as much as 40 hours, I gather. Real live case of planes, trains and automobiles, but right now they're shell-shocked because they're in real trouble. Take a quick single. Irie is very fast indeed. Think he would have just got home. Perfect time for me to welcome Samuel Badri. Samuel, firstly, good morning. West Indies going well.
Hello Lenny, hello everyone, good morning to all. It's been that kind of start. They are known as the cardiac kids, aren't they? We need to bring out that Himalayan heart. They're under pressure, losing 3 wickets in the power play is never easy, but credit to these guys, the West Indians. They've come out with a plan and they're really calm and in good stead at the moment.
Matthew Ford into the team. Exceptional start from him, including this wicket maiden.
Yeah, the way he's been able to control his length has been quite exceptional. Another thing that we've noticed is the number of deliveries that he's gotten seaming away from the right-handed batters, something that Ian Bishop was mentioning a little bit earlier. This year, 35% of his deliveries have left the right-handers.
Seen a lot of talk, Sammy, haven't we, throughout this tournament, where the associates have been so impressive in so many ways about trying to get them more opportunities. Darren, Sammy used his pre-game press conference yesterday to say they do deserve more opportunities. And I think Cricket West Indies deserve huge credit, don't they? They agreed to a 3-match T20I series, not with their full-strength side, in September in Sharjah for the inaugural Unity Cup, two countries that have shared great relationships. A West Indies A team went to help Nepal prepare for the T20 World Cup 2 years ago. They loved it in Kathmandu. It was a really competitive series, that one. I suppose one of the benefits, I know there's difficulties for the full members trying to get those games in, because if they lose ranking points. Significant ranking points, and they did lose that series 2-1. Benefits for West Indies. They knew exactly what this Nepal side were going to be all about. This is the same 11 pretty much that beat them back in Sharjah 5 months ago for Nepal.
It really is a wonderful discussion. I heard you mentioning the responsibility of the full member nations when they tour Asia, a quick trip across to Nepal to play a few games. When they travel to the West Indies, a quick trip to the US to play a few games there, South Africa, a quick trip to Namibia. So you're right, you're absolutely right. The more competitive matches these guys play, the better they become.
Will be a single, but it's the lowest power play of this T20 World Cup so far. Just 4 runs in the last 3 overs. Nepal are in all sorts of trouble early as we get to the end of the power play. Time for a drink. 22 for 3. Now, I think we're going to have a drink for all of the players. And certainly, even though the Nepal fans are out of colour in the crowd from both of these sets of fans, Nepal continue to have a problem with their batting. I know they're early in their history, 30 years of international cricket, just their 3rd T20. Still only have 150 to their name individually. Subhash Kakarel, that was back in 2014 against Afghanistan. Now, it's great to have a real alongside us. Let's get down to Carlos Brathwaite. Carlos, what do you got for us?
We talk a lot about big sixes in T20 cricket. One of the most important bits of equipment is your bat. Now, bats come in many different shapes and sizes. I love this little presentation here, by the way. And we have bats of Fury, Fire and Glory. Jason Holder, Shafane Rutherford and Shimron Hetmeyer. Now, I hope this can be a little bit of a masterclass in bats, but if it isn't, I apologize. Now, we look at some bats that become a little tighter. You can see there are a lot of little lines on the face. We call that a grain. Now, a grain represents a year of life for the wood before it was turned into a bat. So you find bats like this with 4 or 5 grains very widely spread apart. That is a much younger tree. So normally it takes a little bit